Hello and welcome to another mixed level yoga class with Marcy. This is the fourth class of our first series on opening to grace, and today the invitation is opening to possibility, and I talk a whole bunch about what that means throughout the whole class, and it may not be what you think, so I hope you enjoy today's class. Thanks for being here. Well, hello, and I'm glad you're here. I invite you to take a comfy seat, sitting up on something to support the natural curve in the lower back. And in today's class, we will be opening to possibility. This is the fourth class in a series of opening to grace, which is the first universal principle of alignment in Anusara. And we've been opening to grace by focusing in on the movement of the breath in the body, and you can do that right now. Just bringing your awareness to that movement. And it feels so good to me to do this. And I need it so much to reground. There's so much that gets us up and out into the spinning vortex, the rhythm of the mind. So coming into the breath. And we've also practiced melting into the back body. So I invite you to do that right this minute, and I'm going to do it too. When we move out of the front body and into the back body, we move out of the ego, which is what is conscious, the conscious self that we present to the world, and into what is unconscious, which is the vast sea that holds it all. And the third practice that we've been doing in the body, in our third class, we brought this in, is lengthening sides of the body. You can be subtle about this or less subtle. This creates space. And so by practicing all three of these things at the start of every asana that we do, we can sort of ingrain this practice into us and take it right off the mat. So we show up to a meeting at work, for example, we can come into our breath, melt into the back body, create length in the sides of the body, and now we've created a spaciousness. We've hooked in with Source, and we have opened ourselves to the possibility of the moment. Instead of moving kind of in an unconscious way through our life, showing up in that difficult conversation from a place that we always come at it from, the same conversation you've been having in your marriage or with a member of your family or with someone in your community, etc. And we begin by opening to grace. We open ourselves to the possibility of finding something new for ourselves and in our expression in this world. And often when we open to possibility, we think of, wow, I am going to finally write that book, or I'm going to finally get that degree that I've been waiting to get, or I'm going to become that person that I have always wanted to become, that I've been holding myself back from. And these are wonderful things. And yes, practicing this way does create the field and ripen us for making big changes when it's time. And it's also okay to make tiny changes and subtle shifts as a reflection of opening to possibility. So I want to invite the whole spectrum here. In one of my recent classes, after doing an opening to grace practice, one of my students in meditation at the end, in Shavasana actually, had a revelation. She had a whole new experience of what Shavasana was, and that was like a sea change for her in terms of her practice. So something small, just an opening in the mind and how we see and how we perceive and how we think about something and how we know something, or even just feeling something more deeply, can be a way of opening to possibility. And opening to grace prepares the field of our awareness for just that kind of an opening. So we'll be working on this in today's class, and opening to grace is really, because it's the first universal principle of alignment in Anusara, and that's the kind of yoga that I teach, we will do this always in all of our practices. And sometimes it will be more the focus, and sometimes it will be less. Right now, it's really our focus. It's the gift, of these teachings. So let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. And you can let yourself just feel the sensation of one hand touching the other today, in this moment. Also part of the gift. And what a mind-blowing thing it is that we have a body and that we can actually feel two hands touching. I mean, what is that, right? Oh, feel free to make a sound on the exhale, and we're going to all make a sound together in just a moment, joining our voices, the sound of Om. So take a deep inhale. When you're ready, open the eyes and release the hands. Let's do a little side stretch while we're seated. We've been doing this in all three other classes, and we're going to continue with it with a little more focus here on all three of those practices. So take your left fingertips to the ground and your right hand to the hip. Sometimes I mess up my rights and lefts because I have to tell you the opposite of what I'm doing. So my mind has to work in that kind of way, which is a little different than the yoga space, right? Sometimes I need a pause. Okay. And here we go. Let's find the breath. It's right there, and melt into the back body. Yeah. Find length in the sides of the body. Create space for yourself. Enter the space of it all, just for a moment. Feel the sits bones grounding. Find that length all the way up through the crown, and begin to walk your fingers and pause. Right arm comes out. This time, oh my goodness, my shoulder. Let's just rotate it right there at the shoulder socket. I did 30 years of West African dance, and there's a lot of big movement in the arms, and so my shoulders have sort of this history of sometimes being thrust about with micro tears in the muscles. So getting into my shoulders can feel sometimes initially a little tricky. And I'm sure you have places like that in your body for all the different reasons, because we're using our bodies, right? And that's the beauty of having a body, part of it anyway. All right, so feel that ground again and find the length and feel the reach. Find the space, find the melting, find that breath, all the things that open you to grace, that open you to the field of possibility, big, small, somewhere in the middle. Now reach it forward, round the back. Oh, make a sound on the exhale. Oh. Oh my gosh. And then inhale it up and exhale it down. And really it just becomes a dance. The whole thing is a dance. Find your center line and feel that. It's like, whoa, I have two different sides of the body right now. All right, right fingertips to the earth. Find your ground. Come into the breath. Melt yourself into the back body. And find length. Find the space. Create the space. find the space that's there. Shoulder blades melt onto the back body and begin to walk the fingers without losing the groundedness in the sits bones. Left hand comes out, and here goes my moment. Oh my goodness, yes, there you are. Just takes a second for me, and then I can work it out. And then it's good to move. It becomes fluid again. Oh, yeah, we get to know the different kinds of pain sensation and the ones that are necessary to move through to find the freedom again and the fluidity. Ground and reach. Shooting hot pain generally is one you want to avoid. Oh, gentle draw of chin back. Find your stretch. Making space for possibility. Then round the back, reach it forward. Exhale and make a sound. Oh, yeah, it feels so good. And then inhale it up. Exhale it down. Find that midline. There's some delight here. Are you feeling it? I really am. Okay, hands on knees. We'll just do a little gentle cat-cow movement of the spine right here while we're still seated. So exhaling and rounding, and inhaling, drawing the top of the sacrum to the front of the body. Maybe the hands moving back. Heart is lifting. Exhaling it forward. Inhaling it. Drawing the heart towards the sky. One more. Exhale, round the back. Inhale it forward. And exhale to center line. Sometimes patterns that have been in our bodies for our entire lifetime and several generations are ready to be released. And we've been working it and working it and working it, and then suddenly now is the time. And maybe right now here in this yoga class, that's a possibility. Yeah, it's kind of magical here. All right, let's turn. I'm going to turn. You can stay where you are. But I want to show you this because we're coming into Ardha Navasana, half boat pose. So bring the hands under the knees, elbows bent. Notice the back wants to round. In fact, let's all round the back just to exaggerate that. Oh, and it kind of feels good too. Then we're going to inhale. Top of the sacrum comes forward to create a sweet curve in the lower back. And from that space, maintaining it, the heart can lift up. And there we are. Lift a foot, activate the toes. Lift another foot, activate the toes, pause. If the back is rounded, draw the top of the sacrum to the front of the body. Lift the heart. Pause here. Now maybe this is right where you're working, or maybe your feet are back on the floor. If it's available to you and you want to try it, let go of a hand, let go of a hand. Now notice what's happening in the integrity that we began with, and see if you can bring that back in. Whew. And then maybe, just maybe, there's even a straightening of the knees. Good. Exhale to come out. Cross the ankles, bring the hands forward, and come onto your hands and knees. Hi, Akis. Hands and knees. Tuck the toes, nice and wide in the fingers, hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. Yeah, wag the tail. My body just started doing that. When the body starts to move in a certain way, I bow. I bow to the wisdom of the body because it really tends to know what it wants and what it needs, and it's sending us messages all the time. So yeah, slowing down, tuning into the breath, melting into the back body, getting side bodies long helps us to begin to really listen. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale around the back, push the floor away. Oh, make it feel good. Yeah, this is your warm-up. Inhale it forward. Exhale. Oh. And it's also your body and your practice, so you're listening to yourself. And my invitations may fall flat for you, so you do what your body says do. And I'm starting to want to move a little differently, a little more dancey in my you can too. Do what feels good. And then come back to center. Nice piece of grass on my mat, probably from gardening or something. We're going to come right on up to the knees, hands on the hips, and pause. Find the breath. Melt into the back body. Inhale those side bodies long and melt the shoulder blades onto the back. Palms of the hands come around to high pockets on the back of the hips, of the pelvis. Pause again. Gentle draw of knees to midline. Good, and then inhale, and as though there were a hand behind the heart, just start to lift that heart towards sky from the back body. Gentle draw of the chin back. Just a gentle back bend. Nice. Inhale it out. Right foot comes forward, hands on knee. Lift and take that back knee back and draw it forward so you're not right on the kneecap. You may, sorry to cue this late, but you may want to fold your mat, double it up, or put a blanket under the knees. Sorry. All right, find the breath. Draw knees, draw legs to midline, press through the feet, lift the hands up. Exhale, hands down, step it back to plank position. And then I exhale, knees and chest or Chaturangdasana. Active legs, tailbone rooting towards feet. Inhale, shoulders towards the ears, onto the back. Gentle cobra, lift the hands. Get long through the crown and the toes. Good. On the exhale, come back to tabletop and onto forearms. Elbows right under the shoulders. Nice. Inhale and fill the back body. Make the sides of the body long. Tuck the toes under. Actually walk the toes wide to the width of the mat. And lift the hip points towards sky, keeping a bend in the knees. Breathe into the back body. Make the sides of the body long. And notice the sensations that you're having in your shoulders as you both strengthen and stretch. Dolphin. Exhale the knees down. Keeping toes tucked, come on up onto knees, and this is that place where you might want a blanket under the knees or to double your mat. Hands on hips, come into the breath. Melt into the back body. Make the sides of the body long. Melt shoulder blades onto the back. Gentle draw of knees towards one another on the mat. Press down as you reach up. Keep breathing. Good. Exhale, left foot comes forward, hands on knee. Lift the back knee, walk it back so that you're not on the kneecap, drag it forward. Pause. Inhale into the back body, sides of the body long. Gentle draw of legs to midline, press down, reach up. Exhale, hands to mat, step it back, plank position. Oh, let's take it down. I just realized I forgot to take us into the back bend. Okay, back onto knees, hands on the hips. Get long in the sides of the body. Hands come around to the high pockets. Draw legs in gently towards midline. Sides of the body long, shoulder blades on the back. Lift the heart from the back body. Good, and then exhale it, we'll take it to plank. Sorry about that. Sometimes my mind gets distracted, even moments like this. And then down onto bellies. Root the tailbone strongly. Inhale, shoulder towards ears, onto the back. Gentle cobra. Lift the hands. And then exhale your way back into tabletop. Come onto forearms, elbows right under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, take the feet to the width of the mat. Breathe into the back body. Make the sides of the body long. Nice. Now pressing into elbows and forearms, lift the hip points high. Keep a bend in the knees. Get long in the sides of the body here. This is an inversion. Anytime the hips are higher than the head, we are inverted. Oh, and feel the gift of this in the shoulders. We're all carrying lots on our shoulders. And so this is a moment to give the shoulders some necessary love. Exhale it down. Take your hands a little wider than shoulder width. Feet nice and wide, coming into something called frog dog. Press into the hands, keeping knees deeply bent. Take the hip points high. Yeah, and here we go again. We're going to breathe into the back body and get long in the sides of the body. Take those hip points really high, and then maybe the heels can begin to move towards the mat, but either way. Good. On the next inhalation, left foot comes to the center of the mat, right foot comes high. Exhale, draw the knee towards the heart, round the back. Inhale it high. Exhale, draw it to the heart. Inhale it high. Exhale, draw it to the heart. Inhale it high. Exhale it down. Right foot in the center of the mat. And then on your next inhalation, left leg comes high. Press into the hands. Exhale, round that knee to the heart. Inhale it high. Exhale to heart. One more time. Inhale it high. Exhale to heart. Inhale it high. Exhale it down. Downward facing dog. Oh, look between the hands and walk your feet forward. Put a little softness in the knees. Rock back on the feet and then forward. Back and forward. And lift and spread the toes. Now, if your hamstrings are super tight and you've got some blocks handy, bring your hands up on blocks. Or keep the knees bent. I suggest we all keep the knees soft in our first big forward fold. All right, lift and spread toes. Fan the toes down. Now inhale the heart forward. Exhale, fold inward. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, fold inward. One more time. Inhale it forward. Keep that length in the back. Press through the feet. Arms open to the side. Reverse swan dive up. And reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Okay. Move any way you need to. That's always true. Move any way you need to. All right. Look down at your feet, parallel, lift and spread toes. Find the breath. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart. Two more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart. Wonderful. Side stretch. Inhale, hands up. Take the left wrist in the right hand, press through both feet, and begin to take it over like we did when we were seated. Now step that left leg behind the right. There I am with my lefts and rights. And dance it out. Gentle draw of legs towards one another as you reach. Inhale to come out of that. Great. And we'll take the other side. Inhale, the hands up. Take the right wrist in the left hand. There it is. Step the right foot behind the left. Gentle draw of legs to midline as you reach. Dance it out. supported by the breath. Keeping a fullness in the back body. And then inhale it out. Shake it out. Wonderful. Let's come back to the top of our mats. So we're going to do a few Surya Namaskars with some stuff included in there. We're still warming up, but we're getting pretty warm. All right, look down at your feet. Find the breath. Breathe into the back body. Melt yourself there. Notice how perception shifts. Get long in the sides of the body. Melt the shoulders onto the back. Press into the feet. Touch the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Oh, make a sound. Oh. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, step it back. Downward facing dog, taking feet to the width of the mat with bent knees. Frog dog. Take a moment here to breathe into the back body and get long in the sides of the body. Press through the hands. Then move the knees towards straight. Inhale, left foot to center of the mat, right foot high. Exhale, knee to heart. Take that foot between the hands, ground the back knee down. Walk the back knee. Press into the feet, draw into the midline with the legs, and lift up. Inhale. On the exhalation, turn the palms and draw the sky down into the heart for cactus arms. On your next inhale, left fingertips come to the ground, right hand to the right hip. Draw legs to midline and find your way into a gentle twist. Top of the ears go back as you press into the feet. Inhale to unwind. Hands to the mat. Weight in the front foot. We're going to take it right up and into a standing split. Back leg lifts. Now experiment with the hands. Bring the hands to palms to the floor with wide fingers. And experiment with taking a little weight into those with the leg lifted. And then weight out. And then weight into those. And then weight out. Walk the fingertips back. Drop the back foot down. Come back onto that knee. Walk the knee back. Reach around with the hands to interlace the fingers. Breathe into the back body. Lengthen sides of the body. Shoulders go back. Draw legs towards midline. And then reach back. Any amount. Exhale. We're going to take this into Ardha Hanumanasana. Recommend using blocks for this. A block on either side of the front foot. Moving that front leg into straight with active toes. And you can experiment with blocks on high if your hamstrings are pretty tight, and also a bent knee if your hamstrings are real tight. Blocks lower. Good. The energy draws up from the foot up the leg and into the hip socket, and then we press it back out like we're pressing on the gas. Heart draws forward, long through the crown. Breathe. Lovely. When you're ready, on the exhalation, we'll take that foot back, press into the hands, wide feet on the mat, frog dog. Breathe into the back body. Make the sides of the body long, then press into the hands. Move the knees towards straight. Inhale that right foot to the center of the mat and the left foot high. Exhale, knee to heart. Drop that foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Take it back. Good. Inhale, draw legs towards the midline. Press through the feet, reach up. Exhale, hands front. Draw the sky into the heart with cactus arms. On the next inhalation, right fingertips to the earth, left hand to the left hip. Pause. Find the breath. Then draw legs to midline. Get long, draw those shoulder blades onto the back as you come into your twist. Chin gently moves towards the back of the head. Pressing through feet, lengthening through crown. Nice. And when you're ready to unwind, unwind with a inhalation, fingertips on the mat, weight in the front foot. We're going to take it forward into a standing split. Right leg lifts. Now bring the palms to the floor. And if you need blocks for this, or you need, let's try, I'm going to put blocks here just to see what that's like. Yes. Bring the flat palms to the blocks. Good. And bring weight into them, press, and then take it out. And then again, press, take it out. Back foot floats down mindfully. Come onto that back knee, walk it back. Good. Now with your body forward, reach around and interlace the fingers the weird way and pause. Find length in the sides of the body. Start to draw shoulder blades onto the back. Scissor the legs in, and with the breath, begin to draw the hands away. Heart is lifting. Gentle draw of chin back to the back of the head as you press through the feet. Hold for as long as feels good, and when you're ready to come out, we're coming into Ardha Hanumanasana. You'll want your blocks. Front knee moves towards straight, active toes. Pause, find your breath. Now, from the base of the foot, draw the energy up the leg into the hip socket. And from the hip socket, press it back out. Heart moves forward. If this is a lot of sensation, back it off, bend the knee, get your blocks on high, or come out entirely. Okay, when you're ready to come out, move those blocks. Press into the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Come down onto the knees, onto the forearms, elbows right under the shoulders. Breathe. Take the feet the width of the mat. Breathe into the back body. Make your side bodies long. Then pressing into elbows and forearms, lift the hips. Dolphin. Frog dolphin. Breathe, enjoy, and exhale to come out. Press yourself once again into a downward facing dog. Look between the hands and walk your feet forward. Nice. Soften the knees. Lift and spread toes, draw ankles towards one another. Legs are active. Inhale the heart forward. Press into the feet, rise up. Touch the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Find your breath. Find a drishti point. Bring weight into your right foot. Lift and spread toes. Make the standing legs strong. Start to take weight out of the left foot. Turn that knee open. Bring the heel into the ankle. Pause. Hands together in front of the heart. If there's more, you can lift the leg. We're balancing now. Standing on one foot. You've got your drishti point. You've got your gaze, your focal point. If it feels good, you can reach down and draw that foot right on up and into the thigh. That's interesting. Hands to heart. Foot pushes into thigh, thigh into foot, if that's where you're practicing. Stay with the breath and then open the branches of your tree. Take the palms forward, draw the sky into the heart. Shift your gaze. See something new. Exhale, hands to heart, release. Shake it out, bounce it out, whatever you need. We'll take the other side. Okay. Feel free to look down, lift and find the breath. Lift and spread toes of the left foot. Come into that side, take weight out of the right foot. And bring that foot into the ankle, hands together in front of the heart. Pause, stay in the breath. Then begin to work it. You've got your drishti point. Where are you going to practice this? powerful practice sometimes is not going into the physical full expression of the pose, but doing that in your mind. Foot presses into thigh, thigh into foot, if that's where you're practicing. Staying with the breath, support of the drishti, opening the branches of your tree. Inhale, hands forward, draw the sky into the heart. Try shifting your drishti gaze. Inviting in a new perspective. Ooh. Exhale to come out. Bounce it out, bounce it out, bounce it out, bounce it out. Feels good. Back to the top of the mats. And for a moment, let's just invite in again ourselves into that field of possibility. So we'll come back consciously into the breath. Melt into the back body. Make the sides of the body long. Melt shoulder blades onto back. Press into the feet. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward, fold, swan dive. Soft knees. Let go of the head. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, step it back to frog dog. Widen the feet. Bent knees. Breathe into the back body. Get long on the sides of the body. Press into the hands. Find your expression here. On the next inhale, left foot to center of the mat, right foot high. Exhale, knee to heart. Gently bring that foot between the hands and ground the back knee down. Draw legs to midline, press through the feet, rise up, touch the sky. Exhale, left hand to the mat or to the floor, right hand to the right hip. Breathe. Now draw legs to midline. Shoulder blades find their way into the back. Find your way into your twist. Maybe the hand comes up over the ear. Good. Exhale to come out. And on the inhalation, standing split. Bring the palms to the floor or to your blocks. And bring weight into them with straight arms. Wrists under the shoulders. Exhale. This time the back foot comes down, front knee stays bent, back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Lift it up into your Virabhadrasana 2 shape, hands to hips, pause. Breathe. Come into the back body. Make the sides of the body long, shoulder blades on the back. Press into the feet as you lift the hands. Warrior of possibility. Hold this for as long as you like. Then we'll exhale that right elbow to the right knee. Look down at your feet for a moment. Bring the hand around to the back body. Breathe in there. Now, isometrically, we're going to draw feet towards one another. Inhale the left thigh back. You can bring your hand right there and just melt it back a bit. This is something called inner spiral, which we're not focusing on today, but we need to bring it in. And then exhale and root that right sits bone down like you're tucking the tailbone on that side. Tucking the sits bone on that side. Press through the feet, reach with the hand. Gently draw the chin back. Pressing through feet, reaching long through crown. Breathe. Let the breath sustain you. And then look down. Dissolve the pose, step it back. Frog dog. Come into the breath again, very consciously. Melt into the back body. Sides of the body nice and long. Press the floor away. Find your expression here. Oh, nice. Inhale, right foot to center of the mat, left foot high. Exhale, knee to heart, round the back. Gently draw that foot to the floor, ground the back knee down. Breathe. Draw legs to midline, press into the feet, reach up. Exhale, right hand to the mat or the floor. Find the breath. Draw legs to midline. And come into a twist. Hand on left hip or over the ear. Pressing to the feet. Top of the ears. Move back. Good. Inhale, 2. Come out. Fingertips to the mat. Weight in the front foot. Here we go. Standing split. Palms on the floor. Palms on your blocks. Low setting. Find the breath. Make the arms straight, whatever you do now, and press into the palms with the shoulders right over the wrists. Get that leg high. Keep full in the back body. And exhale. Bring that foot all the way back, parallel to the back of the mat, front knee is bent, and mindfully lift yourself up into a Virabhadrasana 2 formation, hands on top of hips, pause. And breathe. Beautiful. So consciously move into the breath. Melt into the back body. Inhale, get the sides of the body long, melting shoulder blades back. Conscious draw feet towards one another to activate the legs, inner thighs. You'll feel that. Right hand on the front of the right hip, draw it back. Root the left sits bone down. Open the hands wide and look out. This warrior who knows how to slow it down, pause. Move into the back body consciousness to create space for possibility. I'm not going to say the same thing I usually say to my husband today. I'm going to pause, see if there's another option. Turn that palm facing up, we dance it back. And then exhale that elbow to the knee. Reach. Breathe. Look down at the mat. Bring the hands, step it back, plank position. And come onto your bellies. Knees and chest, Chaturangdasana. Hands at the side of the rib cage. Pause. Maybe rock it out in the sacrum. Nice. The top of the thighs stay grounded. The tailbone roots. Inhale, shoulders up towards ears, onto the back to lift you. Heart moves forward. Navel moves towards the spine. And press into the knees. Take yourself back into a downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk, step, float your feet forward. Soften the knees. Lift and spread toes. Draw ankles towards one another as you inhale the heart forward. Keep all that. Press into the feet. Long straight back. Rise up. Touch the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Vrikshasana to Virabhadrasana 3. I will be facing this way to demo. Find your breath. Inhale, lift and spread toes of the left foot. Bring weight into that foot. Take weight out of the right. Come into whatever Vrikshasana you're practicing, right? Foot at ankle, foot at shin, foot at thigh. Find midline between foot and leg, standing leg. Stay in the breath. And when you're ready, inhale the hands high, opening the branches of your tree. Inhale, hands to heart. Take that right knee forward. Keep the back body full, and here we go. As we inhale, we're going to move that right leg back, the hands come back, back body stays full, active in the toes. Virabhadrasana 3. Fly. And then inhale to bring it all the way back through to tree pose. It's a lot for the standing leg, isn't it? And then exhale, hands to heart, and release. Ooh, yeah, I want to shake that out. Let's take the other side. Find the breath. Lift and spread toes of the right foot. Make the standing leg strong. Take weight out of the left. Foot comes to ankle, hands to heart. Pause. Is this where you're practicing today? Or is your foot coming into the shin? Or is your foot coming into the thigh? Neither one of those is more something than the other, better than the other. Just practicing where you practice. Midline hug of foot and leg. This is interesting. Okay, finding a lot of instability for me right here, today, right now, on this side, which is usually not the case because it's my right foot. Open the branches of your tree. So we're changing all the time. Everything is changing all the time. Inhale the hands to the heart. Take that left knee forward. Lift and spread toes of the standing leg. Find your ground and your drishti. Fill the back body and begin to move it back. Your drishti is going to shift. Active toes, full back body. Heart lifts and fly. And then on the inhale, we'll take it back through, all the way. Hands to heart. And up and into your tree. Exhale to release that. Yeah, so I haven't even eaten my breakfast yet, and it's like, woo, this feels like a lot. I don't know about you, but there it is. All right, so one more thing, one more Surya Namaskar with a thigh stretch, and then we're going to do an inversion. And I think it'll be fun, and there are all kinds of different ways you can be inverted, and we've already been inverting. Like I said, every time the head is lower than the hips, we're in an inversion. So come to the top of your mat and find your breath. Let's take hands around to the back body for just a moment and breathe right into that space. When life asks us to be effortful, when we're done efforting, it's good to really be done efforting and to rest. Take a rest. Take a pause. Come back into the space before we come into our next big thing, right? This can happen on small levels, like moving from one part of the house to the other, from one conversation to another, or big things, big projects coming to an end and taking a pause and coming back into the space before a new one begins. A new seed begins to grow again. Good. Press into the feet. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, step it back to, guess what? Yips, frog dog. Nice and wide in the feet. Breathe into the back body. Sides of the body long. Press into the hands. Find your frog dog. Inhale, left foot to center, right foot high. Exhale, that knee to heart, and then foot between hands. Back knee comes down, walk it back. Okay, instead of going into a full lunge and all the other things we've been doing, we're going to breathe for a second, and then we're going to begin to walk our hands around towards the back foot. Bend the back knee to lift the back foot. Okay, this is already a variation of a thigh stretch. If you can reach that foot with your left hand, that left ankle with your left hand, go for it. You can also, if you've got a strap handy, and make a loop and put it around the foot here. That's another option that I'm not showing you, but it's an option. Pause. Let the left buttocks move towards the heel and keep that there as the right hand starts to walk you back around and up and onto the right knee. Pause again. Find the breath. Nice. Find a gentle draw of legs to midline. I'm going to straighten up my front foot. Move that back hip towards the foot. Activate those toes. Nice. Good. And now I can work towards a fuller expression without losing the buttocks, moving towards the foot. Move towards a deeper expression of this thigh opener. I'm going to square my body to the front of the mat, squaring the hips and the body. Maybe reaching forward with the front hand. Back elbow is bent. Ooh, yep, getting deeper. All right, from here, reaching around with the right hand to find the back foot. That may or may not be available. Left hand comes down, so basically we're in a twist. So if this isn't available in this shape, bring the foot down, come back into a twist. But if it is available, check it out. Move that hip towards the foot again. Keep that. And find your way into your twist. Inhale, come on out. Ooh, walk the right knee back. Hello. Left foot comes forward. Oh no, sorry, we can't do that. We gotta do the whole thing, don't we? Take yourself back into a downward facing dog. Right foot in the center of the mat. Inhale, left foot high. Exhale, left knee into the heart. And then gently drop it in between the hands. Back knee comes down. Pause. Find your breath. Moving into what might be possible here in this shape. Walk hands around. Put a bend in the back knee. And then see if it's possible to reach that ankle with the right hand. Use your strap or don't reach it at all. Whatever it is, it's okay. Good. Now it's really important here so that I'm not overstretching the front of the hip to take that right hip back towards the foot. Then I'll walk myself around, bring my hand to the knee, pause, breathe again, fill the back body, sides of the body. Lovely. Active back toes. Square the hips. Ooh, feel that right away. And then the upper body is also square and can begin to lift. Bend the back elbow. Maybe the left hand comes out or up. Keep breathing. All right, left hand comes around. See if you can find that foot. There it is. Right hand to the earth. Again, this is a twist. It happens to be a thigh stretch twist if you're doing the full expression, but you can take that foot right down and just come back into a twist again. Keep moving that buttocks towards the foot and come into your twist. Nice. Inhale to come out. Bring the toes together. Take the knees wide. Grab a block or a bolster and stick it under your third eye. So coming out of efforting, we're going to rest here. We're going to come back into the breath, the back body, sides of body, space. Sending love and respect to ourselves as we are, even when we do the same old thing that we're used to doing the same old way with the same old results. Just sending some love and kindness towards that. And remembering this invitation to practice living differently. Making space for ourselves to move, to step back and out of our patterning. Noticing the lovely sound of your own breath. And when you're ready to come up, come on up. And I'm going to talk about this inversion. If you're tired, or if going upside down on your hands is not something that you practice, or you don't like it, it doesn't feel safe to you, or whatever the reasons, one lovely inversion you could do right now to give to yourself is legs up the wall. And I like to practice it with my hips up on the bolster. And you can get in like so. It's like coming to the side, sitting up on the bolster, and then awkwardly turning yourself around like a so, to bring your legs up the wall, inching your buttocks into the wall. And now if we're all here, this might feel so darn good you don't want to get out, and that is so okay. But if you do want to try something different, then we will do this other offering that I have for you. Now this does require taking your weight into your hands. I'm going to move this bolster out of the way and come. I've got my mat at the wall, so you'll need to be also at the wall if you're going to do this. Of course, legs up the wall requires being at the wall as well. All right, so I'm sitting this way just to create the setting for where I want to put my palms. So I want my palms to be at the distance of the ends of my feet, because when I go upside down, I'm going to want this distance. My leg is going to be at the wall, parallel to the floor, just like this, only up. All right, so I see it, it leaves a little indent. Isn't that cool? I take my hands a little wider than shoulder width. The palms now are just above the end of where my heel points showed me, nice and wide. Remembering when we had our hands on the blocks or on the floor, when we lifted a leg in standing split, because we're now going to do a standing split at the wall. All right, bringing shoulders above the wrist creases, feet at the wall. I'm in a tabletop. Find the breath, breathe into back body. Make the sides of the body long. Now come into a short dog by lifting the hips up. Beautiful. Okay, right foot first. Now there's a tendency to want to take the foot higher. We're going to not do that. We're going to take the foot so that it's at the level of the hips, and gradually take weight into the hands, mostly in the fingertips. Nice, left foot lifts. Fill the back of the body, and then lift the left foot all the way up for a standing split. Press through the hands. Keep that fullness in the back body as you press and reach. And then bring it down. Remember where your hands were and give them a break. Ooh, 'cause that might be a lot. We really want to take the weight more in this part of the hand and not this part of the hand. This is your carpal tunnel. And if you're pressing in here, and you do that a lot, it can really negatively impact all the nerves and tendons and things that run through here. Okay, so rolling that out. If you need to sit again because you lost where you're going to be putting your hands, go for it. Take the time you need. Set yourself up for success. Okay, I see it. I'm going to bring my hands here nice and wide in the fingers. Feet back. Pause and breathe. Shoulders above wrist creases. Active in the fingers. Breathing in the back body. I come up. Keep fullness in the back body. Now, left foot this time comes up. This is that tricky moment where it's like, ooh, are my hands too close to the wall? Okay, fill the back body and then take the right foot high. Pressing especially through the index finger mount here. Keeping a fullness in the back of the body. Reach as you press. And then exhale to come down. Hello. Yeah, so getting upside down is a wonderful way to work with shifting our perspective. where we don't usually spend a lot of time moving through the world upside down. So when we do, it just gives us a whole different way of experiencing ourselves in this place. Yeah. So find that breath again. And I'd like to offer, before we get into Shavasana, a restorative forward fold. You may want to sit up on a bolster, and you're going to need a couple blocks. You might need more than a couple blocks. So this is what works for my body and for many bodies, but if your hamstrings are real tight, it may not be high enough because we're going to stick our head on this. So you may want to add a blanket, another block, another bolster. All right, my hips are lifted here. My legs are open in the shape of Konasana. Toes lifting towards sky. I come into my breath first. Melt into my back body. Get long in the sides of the body. Activate the feet. Feel a gentle press of the back of the calves and the upper thighs into the earth, not the back of the knees. You don't want to hyperextend those. Keep that active and start to walk your fingertips forward. If it works for you to rest your head on your block tower, go for it. And play here. This is restorative, or should be. The invitation is the activation in the lower body allows the upper body to unwind. Feel the support of the tower of blocks. I'm going to take mine down a level. And then I can really drape. So find the level where you can let your upper body drape. And if you can't find that, no worries. And you can get into Shavasana at any time or back into legs up the wall. Maybe you never left legs at the wall. It's all good. In a culture that runs nonstop 24/7, it is an act of rebellion as much as it is self-care and self-preservation to really let yourself rest fully. Take a few more breaths here, letting the upper body drape as the lower body stays just mildly active, just enough. And inhale to come up. And find your way to lying on your backs. To make Shavasana really supportive and restorative, it's nice to put a bolster under the knees, so it takes all the action out of the lower back, so the lower back doesn't have to work at all in any way. And if there's anything else once you get on your back that your body would like, such as a twist or a happy baby, please feel free. Once we get settled, I have a poem to share. Oh yeah, maybe drawing knees to heart for a moment would feel good. I'm going to do a little happy baby. And I'm going to rock it. And then find your way if you're not already there. Sometimes it's nice to windshield wiper the feet and then let them just fall naturally where they will. Arms at the side, 45-degree angle. And here's the deepest invitation in our practice so far to melt into the back body. As front body melts into back body, the skin of the face softens, muscles of the jaw soften. The mind releases brain is heavy in the skull. The bones are heavy. A poem by William E. Stafford titled At the Unnational Monument Along the Canadian Border. This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass joined hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hallowed by neglect and an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name. At the Unnational Monument Along the Canadian Border by William E. Stafford. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you please. Be a rebel. Rest deeply. And thank you for coming today.